It's not a Roogs happy hour. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, it's a little later. Hi, Stomach. Um, yeah. I'm back because I don't know, I don't know, nobody can compare to we have and it makes me do. It's not a Riggs happy hour. So I just no real. Well, I mean, because I've been thinking about some things, and I don't know, I was home, and I actually considered my computer and not in my car. So I figure the quality will be a little bit better than in my car. I still mean I'm okay. I'm doing better now. I'm getting better than I have been the past couple of months, a few months. A lot of let's 2022. Let's just say like the school year of this past school year. That's like the months. It's been a little rough. It's always thanks. I was thinking about this, and I don't know why I feel maybe I think this is a little bit of my trauma. I would love to see Riggs on the X throwing inks. I don't know. I mean, according to Camino, I got some super cutty cut powers. I'm trying to fix my chat so that it doesn't look so messed up. Not like my chat really matters. Like, uh, but I'm on tonight because I was thinking about this and this was running through my head. And it was running through my head and I don't know why it was bothering me. Again, possibly more than likely my trauma. But I think sometimes people get the wrong impression of me, and I think, and I not necessarily the wrong impression, but I think I don't know because I can't control what other people think, and I can't um I don't know, but and honestly, I think it is my trauma, but I'm a flirty person. I'm charismatic. I'm charismatic. I'm comfortable with my body. Well, for the most part. Uh, I'm comfortable with my sexuality. I'm comfortable with sex. I'm comfortable with my interactions with people. I probably should practice boundaries more because I guess I'm an open person. Um, but I I think I don't know if people get the right idea about me. Um, in that and maybe this is all coming from my inner adult work because when I was in my 20s, in my teens, in my early 20s, I spent most of my 20s. I spent a lot of time using my looks and my body and my just everything about that to seek validation. I wanted to feel good about myself and I wanted to feel like I was loved and desired and wanted. And I used my sexuality for that. I used my looks. I used and but because I'm doing the work, and I think maybe that's where all of this is coming from because I'm doing the work. And it is not that I don't love when people talk about how good looking I am because who doesn't? That's a great thing. And I don't mind being, flirty and goofy and all this stuff. But I even my puritanical upbringing either. It's just that I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need to go around sleeping with people, or I mean, I'm flirty, but there's boundaries um to validate my existence. And that's what I used to use it for. And I like flirting, and I like being a Roogs from the internet. I do. I like being a Roogs. So Roogs is great. She's great. She is a great part of who I am. I love her, and and just like a Roogs is a part of who I am, so is Rebecca. But they are only a small part of who I am. And the overall big collective of who's Anna, because that's who am I, and what do I want? And I know, okay, this is sound really bad. I know I could sleep with anybody I wanted to. I know I could fuck anybody I want to, guy, girl, whatever. Like I know that. I am aware of that. That doesn't mean I am. That doesn't mean I want to. And I think this is bothering. I think this is all coming from just this is also a part of my journey, and this is me sharing that part of my journey. I would think I would feel a little amiss if I didn't share this part of it, because I'm all sharing about emotions and stuff, but like I mean I have two kink, I'm on two kink podcasts, so why not talk about my mental sexual healing? And this is one that it's been on my mind for a little bit now, and I don't know why I felt compelled to say it. I don't know. I just do. In my 20s, my teens, when I first started, I got sexually active way too young due to a lot of neglect. And so I used that as a coping mechanism. I equated that, and because of purity culture, because of wonderful purity culture, I equated sex with love. And we've talked about this. I equated sex with love. So because I didn't feel loved and I didn't love myself, I equated sex with love. And ergo, I slept around a lot because I just wanted to be loved. And I often, up until now, I often called my late teens, or just my 20s, my dark 20s. And I used to joke about that. Oh, this is my dark 20s. That's where all the trauma was. And I was very dismissive of that. And, but now that I'm doing the work, now that I'm not running from all my pain and suffering and trauma, I'm having to take a really hard look at that, and it's very hard and gut-wrenching. It's gut-wrenching, to be honest. And that I used my body, and I used my sexuality, and I used sex, and I used that just to try to fill this emptiness I had. And I'm not saying I don't like being told I'm beautiful, because like I said today, I like words. I like lots of words. You feel like a complete different word. Oh, yes. Because I'm doing my inner child work and my young adult work, I'm having to look really hard at the young adult I was. And I feel so sad when I look at her, when I take a good long part of that part of my life. I think for my inner child and my inner my inner young adult, I want to hug them. Because I didn't get that as a kid, and and I got the wrong type of physical affection as a young adult. So I think now I'm coming to the realization that I love words. I like words. I like text messages. I like letters. I like words. I do like words. I like also physical affection as it growth from um the growth. Oh, the growth is just from living. And now the growth is from therapy and learning new skills and learning about not running, not tossing the bad part in the bin and keep stepping, because that's stop running. I'm going to stop running and stop avoiding. Stop avoiding. And that's where a lot of the growth is coming from. But like people flirt with me a lot, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. It's fine. But I don't want people to get the impression that I am, just because I support ethical non-monogamy. I am polypositive. I am all for ethical non-monogamy. That doesn't mean I'm participating in it. And I think that's the thing. It's like I support it, and I that doesn't mean I'm participating in it. I'm going around sleeping with everybody. You get people that flirt with you and stuff, but you don't. Right. But I'm also yes, and yes, very much that. But Paragon, it's very much. I think today I was sharing, like you saw, I was sharing some sort of my growth, my successes. I have to acknowledge my growth, and I have to acknowledge where I've come, how far I've come, or even the baby. I have to acknowledge the successes of this person I'm trying to become. And my therapist is like, it's okay to be proud. It's okay to be proud of accomplishing something that you're working toward. That doesn't make you vain. That doesn't make you selfish. That doesn't make you egotistical. And so I think I'm trying to acknowledge that, because I've been thinking about that a lot. In I've gotten to a place where I don't need to be flirted with. Like somewhere along the transition, I transitioned from the pick me girl to the exceptional woman. And we all know the pick me girls. Flirt with me, there's TikToks all over, and I've talked about the pick me girl. And I was the pick me girl. I was the please pick me. And I'm not. I never understood the whole pick me phenomenon. It's insecurity. It's a lot of insecurity. It's a lot of those young adults coming in and not. I don't know. I know that was for me, but I like feeling sexy for me. I like flirting, but I don't need to be the center of attention. I don't need, and I have understood that sex isn't love. It's not. But that doesn't, just because sex isn't love, because I finally come to that place where sex isn't love, doesn't mean that I'm going around fucking everybody. And that's a good feeling. It really is. I like being flirted with. Who doesn't like being flirted with? Who doesn't like being told they're incandescent or sexy or hot or irresistible? I don't know. Who doesn't like that? I mean, some people do. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to ask who doesn't like that. And then, of course, sex isn't fully love. Love isn't fully, but there are crosses. Yeah. So just like in anything. Just like in anything. I think the thing that stands out is like, I like it, but I don't need it. I like being able to go, I look cute today. I look hot today. I know I look hot today. I like knowing that I can do freaky things in bed and still cook a goddamn great breakfast. Like, yeah, I'll cook you breakfast after sucking the soul out of you. I don't give a shit. But that doesn't mean that I'm doing that for everybody. And that doesn't mean that I want to do that with everybody. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to. And there was a time in my life that I would. But in the process of reparenting my inner child and accepting my trauma and learning about where like my inner young adult and all of that stuff, it's I wasn't going to say anything but your looks, but funny thing about that, Calvino, is actually I sing Evanescence. Those are my actually go-to standard karaoke songs that I can sing like on point. Yeah. I talk openly about sex. I think sex is a wonderful thing. I think that sex is very varies from person to person. I think that your morals, ethics, what you're into, it all varies. It's all a personal thing. Kink is customizable, sex is customizable, how you view it is customizable, and it'll change. And I say that on Release the Kinkster, like how, like, especially if you've been having sex for a certain way for so many years, and then you all of a sudden discover kink, and all of a sudden you're looking at yourself going, who the fuck is this person? I don't know who this is. Like, I went the opposite. I went like in my 20s and my teens and my 20s. I was like, I'm fucking everybody because, well, I wanted it to be because I was, super hot and, everybody loved me and blah, blah, blah. But what it was, I was seeking love because I hated myself. I hated myself. I hated my life. I felt empty. I felt really, really empty and angry. And so I was going to go out. And a lot of that also has to do with the fact that I was assaulted on multiple occasions by multiple people. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And fuck you. And I'll fuck you. And I I was going to take control when I was spiraling out of control. I will sing karaoke at Con Carolinas if you want. I will sing. Maybe. If I brought Bojangles and Cheerwine. I don't care what Don Dara says. Bojangles is amazing. But I was also like I had said today, and I think that this is more on me, but as like I said today, I'm going to flirt with glitch because it bothers me going and like I think that bothered me. I think it bothered me than it bothered it more than anybody else, because I think it bothered me because I'm like, you're not that person. You're not that person. I mean, nobody took. I bet nobody took it seriously, and I know nobody probably took it seriously. Like, okay, haha, funny, and we all say things like we all say things in the BSBN in the community, but I don't. I like sex. I'm really good at it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm pretty good at it, and by pretty good, I mean I have tips, but even though I have all these open minded views on sex and sexuality and my sexuality and my body and sleeping with me is a privilege. And it's okay for me to say that. I don't go around sleeping with like I'm not a 7-Eleven. I'm not a Starbucks. I don't there's not one on every corner. Like I just ah I think this thing. And I think I ah. But I'm not over here going, "Oh, if I'm sleeping with you, it's like, oh, it's love. Oh, it's love." Because that's puritanical shit, and I don't want that either. What I'm saying is that I don't go fucking around. And that a little bit is a little bit of my trauma too. I think I've spent my entire life uh being told, well, first off, that I was dirty and used by the church, but then at the same time, those nice little movies where, a girl gets taken advantage of, and then all of a sudden the girl becomes the slut of the school. Well, yeah, summer before my freshman year, I became that girl because some senior showed interest in me and then decided to take advantage of me. And then all of a sudden I was a slut. And it devastated me, and that was hard. And I think from then on it was like I couldn't figure I couldn't figure out my happy medium. I couldn't figure out whether I wanted to not be good looking, and I literally tried to just not look pretty and not look good and not flirt with people and just literally just I shut myself off, which I did. I did most of my freshman and sophomore year. I literally shut myself off from everyone, and then I finally got to the point to where I was so depressed and I was bullied so badly that I finally begged my parents to let me transfer, and then I transferred schools, and I was like, okay. And I came out of my shell. And then I thought, I'm really good looking. Look at all of this. And then I got to college, and then my dark 20s happened, and shit went to pieces. And I said that the other night when I was on Naughty and Knowledgeable about how I had like 4 boyfriends my senior year. And and I was just doing all sorts of shit. I was doing risky behavior, which now that I am in like I'm in therapy and I'm working on, my skills for my mental illness. I realized that this is probably a product of my mental illness, and which went undiagnosed, which is great. So I went through 20 more years of trauma, so that's cool. Self-inflicted trauma, but sex is fun. Mm. And I am all about women. I am all about it. If you want to go sleep with whomever you want and you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not there anymore. I'm not there anymore. I think that's where I'm at. I'm not there anymore. I'm not in my 20s. I'm not needing to go out and experience the world. Fuck, I'm not even in my 30s. I I don't need to go like I like flirting. That's about where it stops. Like if I'm having to take a long hard look here lately at my inner young adult. And the shit I put myself through mentally and emotionally, and realizing how much of it revolved around sex and sexuality. And how much of it from purity culture, I'm over here going, sex is love, and all I wanted was to be loved. All I wanted, like, all I wanted was to be loved and get smacked on the ass. I don't know. I, I like that was the problem. I mean, I don't know. I remember the first time I asked somebody to spank me on the ass. And of course it was like my Southern Baptist ex-fiance who didn't know what he was doing either. He was like, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, but I digress. There's a lot of things I haven't experienced that I would like to experience, but I don't think that I'm out to just go experience it at all cost. Does that make sense? Because there is a cost. There's always a cost. And maybe the cost is free. That's fine. And maybe the cost is huge. Someone I knew in my college years, there was a lady. No, I'm not looking. I don't. It's my personality. I think that's the other thing. It's my personality. Everything was. And I think that's the other thing that I've changed that especially we were talking about Paragon, we were talking about growth and a little of the dust on your show, you sexy. Growth is that I set boundaries. There's no such thing as a late bloomer. I don't believe that. I think that you come into your sexuality when you're supposed to come into your sexuality. I think that you come into yourself and you experience it how you're supposed to experience it. I think that you only can experience sex in where you are mentally, because I mean, it is scientifically proven that you have better sex when you're in a better headspace. There's like papers in science, like all of that, scientifically proven that like the women who are like, I've never experienced an orgasm. That's because there's probably a lot of mental hangups that they're stuck on. And you have better sex when you are in a better mental and emotional place. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're mentally and emotionally connected with that person, but that you personally yourself are in a mental and emotional better place. A lot of that. So I think that people experience sex and they experience their sexuality where they're at. And there's still so much you can experience. And you get to that point where like, oh, there's so much I want, so much more. And that's great, because what happens when you finally experience everything you want to experience? What happens then? Right? So there's always something new. Just be, I think for me, there's my list of things that I haven't tried that I want to try is super, super long, to be real honest. And, but I'm not going to just go out and do it for the sake of going and doing it. Like, I don't, because I think just to go out and try and experience those things for the sake of experiencing it, it's not that fun. I mean, oh, I tried it. Okay, great. But I feel like, would it be different if I were trying it, whatever it was, with a person that I enjoyed being with? And not even like loved or that I just enjoyed being with. I don't like random stranger. Besides, you don't know where they've been. Some people don't even wash their hands. You think that they wash their genitalia? Like, like the risky behavior that I experienced. You're not going to like this, but you're kind of like it's bubbly. So my personality is bubbly? I'm not going to like that? I mean, I'm okay with bubbly. I'm okay with broken. I'm okay with bitchy. Oh. I'm okay with a lot of things. I'm a whole menagerie of ah. I think I'm. I think also this is also because it's been on my mind because I have a lot of cons coming up. And, I'm making obviously Con Carolinas and I'm wearing, I'm going to look sexy. And of course they have the saying cosplay isn't consent. But it's very much in that whole vein of where am I at? Where am I at? Where am I at in my head? Where am I at emotionally? Where am I at? And where I'm at is I don't need to flirt. I don't want to flirt. It's a lot of energy. Do I get flirty? Yeah. But I don't go out and seek. It's not like heat missile. Oh, you're cute. Pay attention to me. No, no, no. Usually I'm like, oh, please don't talk to me. Hi, Jack Nizzle. I've never heard that saying. Where am I at? And I'm not 20 anymore. And I'm not. Do I still I never say that to anyone out loud. I'm just saying I don't go where, as in this is where I'm acknowledging my growth as a person and as a human, and just my mental and emotional and just in all of that and where I've come, like I used to seek like want to be like walk into the room and I seek out like I wanted to be the center of attention. I wanted like I know how to flirt and turn on the charm. I know how to do all of those things. I know how to smile to my head. I know how to make you feel good. I know how to change the conversation so that I like, which I do. And I'm really good at it. I'm really good at decades of practice. But it was all in, I never did it in a genuine thing. I did it as it was like a succubus of attention. And it's like trying to fill this void and this lack of, I didn't think that I was good looking. I didn't think that I was good enough. I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think I was enough. And so I needed that external validation of attention and sexuality and any of that. Like, I don't need that now. And honestly, it's a very comforting and good feeling. I talk a lot of shit to Glitch. I talk a lot of shit to Jay. Like literally everybody in the BSBN, females included, we have all talked about fucking each other at some point. Has anybody else fucked each other that isn't currently in a relationship? No. Because we have boundaries. And it's comforting. And I think that's the most comforting thing is boundaries. You can ask Bear. Bear, literally, when we first started talking on TikTok, like when I first started stalking him and we were just starting to talk back and forth, literally the first thing was, okay, here, let me make this clear to you. This is not what this is. Pinnacle of pick me seduction. Don't talk. Oh my God. You know what? That's fine. If you don't want to talk to me, don't talk to me. I can't force anybody to talk to me. Just ask Shep. If I'm not at a panel, I'm probably sleeping. He couldn't find me because I was asleep. Y'all, cons are exhausting. I've been thinking a lot about that. It's like, oh, well, I don't. I think it's also a growth in the fact that I have, because of my mental illness and it develops with my BPD and it develops into like that an anxious attachment of needing and feeling needing to feel loved and cared for and important and secure. And getting to that, I think that's just one of those, it's getting to that place where sex isn't just sex isn't a currency. You know what I mean? I think that's the best way to put it. I use sex as a currency. And sex is fun. Don't get me wrong. Sex is great. I don't want anybody to get that twisted. I think sex, kink, ethical non-monogamy, I think all of those things are amazing. And I support them and I love them and they're great. What I mean, Paragon, is sex isn't an emotional currency. I gave sex. That was my product. And people would give me minimum of affection. So I was able to use sex. They got their physical needs met while I got my emotional needs met. And that's what I mean about currency. I've been a part of them. No one's crossed the line. And it doesn't make me a prude either. I think that's where I war with myself because I'm not a prude. Fuck, I talk about kink on it weekly. Like I'm literally going to be recording like 2 episodes tomorrow for Release the Kinkster. And I've got, all of these. I've had to take that like inner young adult and tell her she's loved. And not she's loved because of what she can put out or what she can give or what she can provide or how she can make somebody else feel. That she's loved and she's beautiful and it's okay to be sexual and sexy and it's okay to feel confident and that doesn't make you a slut. That doesn't make you a whore. That doesn't mean that, you have to give to get. I use sex as my measure of self-worth for it. Yeah, and a lot of people do. And I think where I don't know. I don't even know why I was compelled to come on. I think why I was compelled to come on is because I'm trying to share not only my struggles, but my successes. And I'm in this place, where I feel good about myself and feel good in the fact of I don't need the flirting to feel good about how I look. I don't need the sexual innuendos or the inappropriate touching or seeing how far. I don't need any of that to make me feel validated. And I think what I'm trying to emphasize is that is a very long, hard journey that again, my dark 20s. It was a long, hard journey that I still haven't gotten right. Thank you. I'm glad it shows. It's been a very long, hard journey. And it's nice. It's really nice. Facts. 100% facts. All the facts on that day. I feel good because I finally in again, I'm still starting. I'm still fresh in this whole journey on trying to heal myself, um, and improve myself and and work through my illnesses and situations and ups and downs and manage all of that. But I've noticed a change in my thoughts and how I approach my body and sex, and it feels so fucking good. It feels good. It feels amazing. It feels amazing. And not that it's amazing that it's not that I don't want that. I like being flirted with. I mean, who doesn't? And I like being flirty because, well, that's just my fucking personality. And I spent my entire life up to since I was 13, 14, no, yeah, 14, because that's when all that started. When I lost all the weight as the kid, and I was from 14 to now, I've either been worried about being too sexy or being pissed off and just go and using my sexuality as a weapon. So it's either I'm trying to be a fucking bridge troll so that no one and a hermit, so no one mistakes my, mistakes that I'm going to sleep with them or that I'm flirting or that I'm being too sexual or that I want to do anything other than that. Or I am like, fuck you, you can't tell me what to do. And you know what? I want to feel good about myself, which is red flag right there, is I want to feel good about myself. So I'm going to go dress like a hoe and see what happens. Yeah, you like being I do like being flirty. I do. But that does not fucking mean that I want to go fucking sleeping with anybody. That doesn't mean I'm going to go mess around with anybody. That doesn't mean anything other than I'm motherfucking flirty. And I'm tired. I wish you knew how many hours and days and years I spent being worried about being too pretty. Or too flirty. Or too suggestive. And sometimes you just want to flirt. Yeah, well, I wish I could say, oh, bye, Paragon. I hope you feel better. Please don't dress like a hoe. Who says I'm a hoe? Who says? That's the thing. For real. Plus, people think being open, comfortable while talking about sex. Right? Yes. That. But it's especially bad for like women. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I'm not saying any of that. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm just sharing that. I'm healing my young adult, and it feels good. And it feels good, and I like it. My young adults, my dark 20s. I just wanted to stop hurting. I wanted to feel something, anything that felt close to affection, that felt close to love. And because I grew up in the church, sex equaled love, right? So the more boyfriends I accumulated, the more the bigger the body count, the more I was loved, right? And then as I got older, it was like not necessarily my body count, but the more people wanted me, desired me, even though that they couldn't have me, the more they wanted me and desired me meant that I mattered. that I stood out, that I was an exceptional human. Oh, see, thanks, Glitch. I'm so glad I'm not on this journey by myself. I mean, we're all on our own separate journeys, but we're all fighting the same journey. um, and I've gotten to. Holy fuck, that was my. um, and I've gotten to this point as I'm starting to really face the realities of why I did what I did in that period of my life and why I felt how I felt and what I thought about it. Because when you're going through and when you're healing your inner child, you're dealing with the things that were done to you. Okay, yeah, you're healing with the trauma that was inflicted upon you. And when you're working on your inner young adult, she's like, they're pissed off. Like, you see that all the time. They're pissed off. And they're pissed off. And like any teenager and young adult, they're going to act out because they don't know how to handle what was done to them. They don't know how to handle their emotions. And so with that, because I am sitting here and I'm addressing my inner young adult, I realize that sex has a lot to do with it. And flirting and et cetera and so forth and so on. And she just wanted to know she mattered. I'm going to try not to cry at this because this one still hits really hard is, oh, yay. Thanks. I'm trying to get 20 subs, as you see. Without the... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, glitch. Mm-hmm. I am finding in addressing my inner child wounds and addressing my young adult wounds and addressing my present wounds. The overall theme is I want to matter. Well, we turn our trauma into kink, Glitch. I'm not saying I'm not saying everything was bad that came out of our trauma. I mean, dude. I've had a long list of things that, started out as trauma, ended up as a kink, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not even mad about it. Aw. Yay. Thanks. I want to matter. And a lot of people want to matter. And a lot of people, but for me in my house, which is funny, for me in my house, which is funny because in my head, that's we talked about me renovating my house. So for me in my house, we matter. And you know what? If we don't matter to anyone else, we matter to, and I'm going to say it, we matter to each other. I matter to myself. And that changes a lot about how you feel about a lot of things. And for me, because I grew up in an emotionally neglectful, emotionally unavailable childhood, just unavailable in general. I pretty much up to after I hit about 12, I was taking care of myself. When my grandmother died, my grandmother basically took care of me. My grandmother died, and my stepsister was there. She drove us around. I took care of myself. There were more fend for yourself dinner nights than there were family nights. Everybody got a bone. Yes. And I grew up in an emotionally just vacant house, a vacant home. And so in turn, I took that, and once I started, like Glitch said, once you start getting that attention from someone, anyone, and I didn't even have a lot of friends in my elementary school years because, well, racist small southern town, and I wasn't even a full-blooded anything. I was a half breed. They literally called me a half breed, like. And I wasn't even like one of the ones that they could pronounce. I was Filipino, and God forbid, they're like, where's that? Are you Mexican? I mean, no, I'm not Mexican. I'm Filipino. Where's that? Does that even exist? Oh, God, fucking A. Okay, whatever. So, that addictive thing of that high. That high, and everybody knows what that high is like. Are you Chinese? That high, that adrenaline of somebody just fawning over you and like wanting you and lusting after you, and just, and it feels so good. And I used it to fill this void, and I used it out of anger and retribution later on, and now, and now I realize it's all because I just wanted to matter to someone. I wanted to matter to someone. Anyone. I wanted to matter. And now I still want to matter. I still want to matter to someone. I still want to have great sex. Like, don't kid yourself. I like sex a lot. I'm not becoming a nun. Fuck that. I love sex. I will talk about sex all day long. I will show people how to give great blowjobs because I do. I give them great. They're amazing. I know what I want sexually. I'm very secure in my sexuality. I'm bisexual. So man or woman, let's go. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go around and just because I can doesn't mean I'm going to. Because I don't need to. And that's a great place to be in. It really is. I think I broke Glitch. Somebody get the crash guard. I think I broke Glitch. Probably. Boo boo, you gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I'm flirty. I like to flirt. I like to have sex. I like to do a lot of things. I like a lot of those things, but yeah, Miko threatened his manhood. She's like, I am completely off limits. She big sistered me hard. Oh. So Glitch has been really good. I'm proud of him. um. So it's I'm finally getting to this place, not just this kinky, not okay. We all know I've been on Dinks with Kings for a long time, and I've grown from there in my sexuality, and I came out while I was in the past few years. I came out and finally came out as bi. I've become more comfortable in the physical, the technical, all of that, the participation of sex. I've become comfortable with that. But there becomes a time where eventually sex isn't just sex. Sex, like, as much as we would like to go, no, sex is like, you can have sex and nothing happen. Please tell me, like, I'm sorry, that I don't necessarily 100% agree with that. You're gonna find it a hard time to get turned on if you're not mentally and emotionally present. Just saying. Like, I mean, you probably could get hard, but like you just, I don't know, or turn like, I don't know. No, we are off limits to each other. That is. Oh, glitch. We're the Romeo and Juliet of BSBN. No. Forbidden fruit. But not only am I comfortable in my sexuality, I know I am comfortable with myself. And that's pretty fucking great. Yes. Ooh. It's medium soft when you have depression. Oh Lord. It's a riverbed. It's a dry riverbed when on the female side. And you're absolutely right, Glitch. I didn't mean to get on and talk this long. I just wanted to talk because it's been on my mind. I think it's because it's been on my mind, and I didn't have a Rook's happy hour day, but I had my car talk, and I don't know. I'm in a good place in that area of my life. And I think that that's what I wanted to share. That just because a Roog's on the internet and you see Rebecca being all like dressing a certain way and presenting this thing, and oh my God, you could have the fucking argument about, well, if you didn't want that, then you wouldn't dress that way. If you didn't want that, you wouldn't talk that way. I heard the best thing ever. It's not that I am dressed like a slut. You are thinking like a rapist. I can dress however the fuck I want. I could walk around naked if I wanted to. That doesn't give anybody the right to sleep with me. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to go sleeping around with anybody else. I can flirt with whoever I want as long as I know that where my boundaries are, and I make my boundaries very, very fucking clear. That's why we have fucking boundaries. And that is why I have self-respect. And that is those, you know what? Boundaries and self-respect are two fucking things that I didn't have in my 20s because I was so traumatized. I was so buried. I was so hurt. I didn't know what boundaries were. I didn't know what self-respect was. I didn't know what consent was. I didn't know what any of these things are. But you know what? Now I am 40. I know what those things are. And I can look sexy because I want to be fucking sexy. And that doesn't mean I'm going to go have sex just because I look sexy. I'm a motherfucking adult. I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm not a 20-something anymore. I'm a motherfucking adult. I'm an adult with adult choices, an adult mindset, and I am a motherfucking adult, and who the fuck cares how you feel about how I look, because I feel good about how I look, and I don't, like, if you try anything, then you have an issue, because you don't know boundaries. And that's where I'm at. And that is what I want to share. Maybe I talked for an hour, maybe just to get to all of that. I don't go fucking around with everybody. I don't go fucking around on, like, I don't go. I'm here for the herbs. Self-respect and boundaries. And you know what? I have that now that I didn't have in my dark 20s, where I used my sexualities for valid. I was always like, wanted to matter to somebody. I matter to myself. Facts. But I matter to myself. And that's huge. That's big. That's big for me. Because I wanted to matter. And I spent decades, my entire life, and I can say that my entire life, just begging to matter to someone. But I matter to myself. I don't have to use my body to matter to anyone. If I want to have sex, I'll have sex. But it'll be a choice. It'll be a choice. It won't be a need. It won't be a fix because I need a fix to feel good. It'll be a choice every single time. For what it's worth, you matter to me. Thanks. One more thing. It's not sexually related, but here's one more thing that also bothers me so much that it just really, really fucking annoys me. And hey, you want an interrupt? Here's another one that is okay, all right. So here's another one. Is like I am so fucking tired of hearing and okay. Let me reframe this. Like I feel very passionately about this one. I'm stuttering. Like, okay. I have said this before. So I know why people say it. But now I am tired of being told you're too good for me. I'm not good enough for you. As an excuse to keep me at a distance. So let me set the motherfucking record fucking straight. And I want it like, here, let me set it straight. You know, this should probably be a banner, or this should probably be the intro into all of my videos. Let me set the fucking record straight. You're right. You know, the thing that they say to me is I don't know why you're here or why you're choosing to be here, or I don't know why you want to be here. Because I fucking choose to be. It is a motherfucking choice. I choose to be here. I choose to care about you. And you know what? Maybe I choose the wrong people. Not all the time, but sometimes I do. But that's not because I'm like dumb or stupid. It's because I am because I like to ignore the red flags and, you know, do that whole thing. But we're working past that in therapy too. But I motherfucking like, and I think it bothers me. I think it bothers me because I have been on the other end. So I know what they're struggling through. And so it's like one of those. I choose me. You don't have to understand why. You don't have to understand why. You don't have to understand why I'm here or why I choose to be your friend or choose to just be in your life. I don't understand why. Like, there's so many people, I don't understand why you're being nice to me or you're too nice, you're too whatever, but like, I choose. And I can just as easily choose to walk. I have a choice. And I'm tired. Like, I'm tired of people acting like like they're a charity case to me. I don't got time for charity cases. I am my own charity case. I ain't got time for that. I am my own charity case. And you're right. I know you're all right, but I would like to clear this up to all of my friends, my loved ones, anyone who is currently in my life. I would like to make it fucking clear that I am not here, and I am letting you know I am not here. I am not wanting to be in a type of, and I say relationship because trying to differentiate between it in the thing between two people. I am not choosing to be in any type of relationship with you to try to fill a need in me. I'm not. I'm also not in any type of relationship with you, any of my friends, family, whatever, because I'm trying to fix you. Because I can't fix you. I've gotten to that point. And see, that's another step into my growth of my process is I'm not out to fix people. I'm out to support people. I'm out to love people. I'm out to provide a safe space for people, but I'm not out to fix them because I can't fix them because I'm held together with duct tape and medication. I choose. It is my choice. But if me being in somebody's life makes them uncomfortable, then fine. But don't make me feel bad. Like, I think that's what's bothering me is like, don't make me feel bad because I choose to be here. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I have better options. I have better options. I love all of y'all. Y'all are great. Just accept it, please. Just accept it. Here it is. Just accept it. If you are in my life currently, if you are currently in my life, here's the plus side for you. I'm fucking healing. I am fucking doing the work. And am I perfect? No. Am I in this great healed place where I am, have my secure attachment? No. No. I struggle with that on a daily. I struggle with my anxious attachment on a fucking daily. However, I know what it is. At least I'm aware of it. At least I know what it is. And at least I'm starting to fill my toolkit full of shit. And I'm starting to do the reno in my head where I'm not having to try to stuff my house full of as many people as possible. No. I have weeded that shit out. Just BT dubs. I have weeded people out of my life, and I am in the process of continuing to weed people out of my life. And I am over here going, I don't fucking need just bodies to make me feel. And I don't need fixer-upper projects. I don't need fixer-upper projects. I am my own fixer-upper project. So you can take that thought and toss that out the window. So many people are like, oh, you're just with me because you're trying to fix me or you're trying to whatever. No, I don't have fucking time for that. And you know what? I want to love everybody for their scars. I want to be a safe space and not in a whole needy way because, ask Sean, the other day, he was in a really bad place and I literally go, I'm in a bad place too. And I don't have the emotional capacity for that. So no. When I say I want to be a safe space, it's not that people-pleasing, needy place. I just want to... Yep, it happens. I don't consider the people in my life fixer-uppers. I don't see them as projects. That's the thing, is I've had a few people talk, like the way that our conversations have gone lately, I'm doing this healing journey, and I'm being very honest, and I'm being very public about it, and I understand that I am being very public about that, and I get that sometimes that bothers some people. For me, it's just my way of trying to help. It is just my way of trying to, just be open, because I have lived my life trying to be perfect in public. And so I got tired of that shit. So this is sort of my opposite action, and it may be trauma dumping, but whatever. I don't fucking care. Fuck it. If you don't like it, go on. Just go. I'm not complaining about anything. That's the thing. I think to like trauma dumping, I'm complaining about things and whatever. I'm not trauma dumping anything. I'm just sharing what thoughts that go in my head, and I'm a verbal processor. So I talk. I like to talk. I like to talk a lot. The people in my life aren't projects. They're people. And if they don't want me there, if something about me makes them uncomfortable, if something about that makes them uncomfortable, then I need them to say that, Stop trying to push me away. I think that's where I'm frustrated. I don't know what it is about me. I don't know what it is about me that makes people feel uncomfortable. And I think that that's sort of where I feel a little hurt. Like they feel the need to be perfect. They feel the need to be put together. They feel the need to be more than what they are. And I think about that a lot. I think maybe that's why when they tell me, you're too good for me, or I don't know why you're here. I don't know why we're friends. I don't know why you're friends with me. You deserve better. I'm broken. I'm broken. No, I'm not broken. I'm just as traumatized. How's that? I'm not broken. I'm just traumatized. And I don't know. They may feel small next to your big personality. I can't cope in it. So talk to me. Just talk to me. Just tell me that. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Again, making it very clear. In conclusion. Wrap this up because I've been talking for an hour, 15 minutes. I was only supposed to go on for 30. I was like, I'll go on and talk for a half an hour. Fucking hour and 30 minutes later. I'm not a hoe. And even if and you know what? There's nothing wrong with being a hoe. Let's not get all of this twisted. I used sex when I was in my dark 20s. And I think I'm just saying this because I'm doing this whole young adult healing thing. Is that in my 20s, I was using it to fill a need. I was feeling it for validation. I was using sex and my body and all of the dopamine and serotonin high that came with all the flirting and seduction and sexual attraction and all that stuff. I was using that as a catalyst and as a numbing agent. I was using it as a numbing agent. I was using it to blind myself from what was actually going on, which was hurt and pain and a lot of feeling unwanted and unloved. And now I am 40 years old. I am just as good looking as I was in my 20s, if not a little better. And I don't fucking need that anymore. And I'm gonna dress sexy. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go home with anybody, or or that I'm gonna let anybody touch me, or that I'm gonna do anything with anybody other than look sexy for me. Because I don't need that to feel a hurt, because there's no hurt anymore. I don't use sex. I don't use flirting. I don't use any of that as a need for validation. And that is not me trying to go sleep around. And just because I believe in ethical non-monogamy, and because I believe in kink, and I believe in all the things, and I'm comfortable with myself sexually and all of this stuff, this does not mean that I'm just going to go sleep with anybody or going to go fuck around with anybody. No, I don't need it. Because you know what? I matter to me. And I'm happy. Because I'm growing and I'm healing and it's nice. And second, can I just yes, you can admire all you want. Just don't be lewd, crude, and socially unacceptable about it. I am a fine work of art. And second, I have my therapist and I actually talked about this, and we talked about this on Anna and Pep, so I won't go into this. I spent a lot of my time trying to make choices and decisions or waiting for somebody else to make a decision for me, because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings, and I didn't want to disappoint anybody or hurt anybody, or I didn't know how to decide things for myself. Stairs and simp. I love you guys. But I'm making choices for myself now. It's hard. I cry on a daily, because I do. I cry myself to sleep, because I'm not stifling my emotions. So don't let it think like I cry myself to sleep but when I start feeling my emotions, I cry. I allow myself to cry, even at the most inconvenient times. But just know, if you're in my life, it's because I want you there, because I care about you, and I think you're great. Whatever state you're in, I think you're great. And it goes, I think you're great. And you're not a project. And you're not a source. You're not a need. Because trust me, there are a lot of people who try to, be friends with me. And I'm not having any of that. See where... I'm making choices for me. And if you are currently in my life, I choose to be here, and I can choose not to be. If you don't want me here, or just don't do the thing. Everybody, we all do the thing. I try to slowly push them out the door. The slow Southern goodbye, as I like to call it. The slow Southern goodbye, where we try to self-sabotage and push them out the door. If you don't want me there, fine. Don't do me the slow Southern goodbye. And I say that because I'm really, really guilty of it. I hate, and I've been practicing that, and it's not been easy. The slow southern goodbye, the self-sabotaging to slowly creep them out of your life. What I'm coming to realize is that I want people to just be upfront and honest with me so that I can move on with my life. So I need to be upfront and honest with the people in my life so that they can move on with theirs. So fuck it. Like I'm not going to be passive aggressive about it. I'm not going to do like the thing I said today. I'm not going to mirror their energy. I'm not. I'm just going to just fucking, okay, fine. Done. I'm not going to play games. I'm done playing games. Unless it's party games or PC games. Or Pokemon. But anyway, okay, an hour and 30 minutes later, which I didn't expect to do, I'm going to go play Sea of Thieves because apparently there is a new ship skin that I really, really need to have because it's super girly and I need it in my life. So, thanks for being for my random Monday night, not a Riggs happy hour that ended up being an hour and a half long. I don't know. I just ended up wanting to go live and here I am. So I'm going to go sail. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.